All right, hello everyone to week 3. I'm basically down more than half of my initial 10,000. So I might be liquidated soon. But anyways, I have about 4,500 US dollars left. I'm not going to go over the trades I made. Just real quick, people think like the sentiment in crypto is pretty bad. Let's actually look at the crypto fear and greed real quick. Let's see, I haven't looked at this in a while. 27, and then here's 24. So yeah, that's pretty good. Sentiment is bad, and I have no clue why, because we basically got a Bitcoin strategic reserve, right? So one thing that's important is this here, right? The US clearly distinguishes between Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency. It has never been hacked since founding, and Bitcoin is digital gold, right? And there's that strategic advantage to being among the first nations to create the Bitcoin reserve. So I think this is basically the US government admitting that Bitcoin is the only cryptocurrency worthy of their attention, and I think the government is basically Bitcoin maxi. All right, I mean, if that's all right, not going to say anymore. Another thing is they have specified that they have a tax neutral, they're allowed to buy Bitcoin in a tax neutral way. If they, in my opinion, if they haven't thought about possible ways to purchase Bitcoin that are tax neutral, they wouldn't have input or devised that phrasing in the actual bill. All right, that's just a little conspiracy for you. So I believe they might buy Bitcoin. Then further, I was listening to the All In podcast. I know they get a lot of hate because they're just a bunch of privileged boomers, I guess, that talk about stuff. But I just want to put your attention on what David Sachs says here. And I think if he says something, you better listen. All right, listen up to this.
Except I will say this. We do think Bitcoin is special. And I can get into the reasons
explain why. That's a great thing, yeah.
Well, explain Bitcoin is the original cryptocurrency. It's the first one. It's the only one that doesn't have an issuer, right? It's very decentralized. It's, in crypto, they call this the Immaculate Conception. We don't really know how it got here. We don't know who Satoshi is. It's almost mystical, you would say.
Yes.
It's the most valuable one. It has a $2 trillion market cap, and it's the most secure. It's never been hacked, right? So we're now, over 15 years into this journey, and there's been a lot of people who've been skeptical along the way, and there's been a lot of ups and downs, but here it is. I mean, I remember back in 2011, I think it's the first time I bought a Bitcoin. I think it was at $120. Now it's at $90,000. Again, there've been all sorts of wild swings along the way, but this thing just keeps chugging along. And you can think of that $2 trillion market cap as like a $2 trillion bug bounty. If there was a way to hack this, there's every incentive in the world. And by hack, I mean like to double spend, create basically a counterfeit Bitcoin, I guess would be the way for people to think about it. And so the security,
a miracle it hasn't been compromised. I think we can all say that.
Well, I don't know if it's a miracle. I think it's exceptional design.
Sure.
And so I think what you could say is that it's been tested in a very robust way, and there's been every incentive to basically break the encryption, and it continues to chug along. And so I think the price has gone up as the protocol has gotten more acceptance. And this is another point, is that Bitcoin is the most widely accepted as a store of value throughout the world.
Yeah.
So we do believe it should be treated special. Now, that being said, we're also creating the digital asset stockpiles.
All right. So I think this is David Sachs admitting that he really understands what Bitcoin is and what the difference between it and other cryptocurrencies are. And essentially what the US strategic reserve is, I think it's a Bitcoin Fort Knox. All right, and I'm going to leave it with that. Follow me on X for shit posts, and have a good week.